15 minutes to play in this one. The score remains 9-7 Bentley. That was the score at the half, so credit the Falcons for keeping the Pioneers off the board in that third quarter.
Moved it up and down the field, had that big drive. They had the mistake by Washington, the fumble turnover. It was a killer. And again, they've capitalized, or at least they have looked like they are trying to capitalize in this. They've moved the ball down the field.
First and 10 from the 41 for the Falcons. Grimshaw running the option, pitch to Ferguson. Ferguson hurdles to the outside. He's got about 6.
And now they're running the running backs in and out. Ferguson back after the period break, and this is, look at the whole left side of the line for Bentley, just collapses all the right shirts away. The commitment is made by the linebacker, and Ferguson just goes to the outside. There's absolutely no containment right there, and he just takes it up for about a 7-yard gain.
And a timeout on the field. On 2nd and 4 from the 35, they run the option to the other side. Here's Ferguson, cuts it upfield. Going to be short of the first down. He's got over 60 yards now in rushing.
Armstrong on the previous play committed to the quarterback. He had no help to the outside. That time he chases it down from the far side. There he is right in the middle of your screen, number 28. He forces the pitch, and then he's got the lateral ability to catch up and the speed to make the dive. And there is the help as well that forces the play inside by Davidson, the cornerback, and that's what was missing on the previous play.
Call it 3rd and 3. Little fumbled snap. Actually helps Cerami to the outside. He's down to the 12. I really think that fumble snap actually helped. It delayed picks.
I'll tell you what, I'd like to see the replay. I think Rimps's knee touches as he goes to get the ball, or it's darn close. I don't know if we're going to see it here. Yes, his knee hits. No call. Cerami gets it, and then he's got the quickness. But watch Armstrong. He eventually tracks him down coming from the far side of the field. There he is to wrap him up. But that's a big break for Sacred Heart, as the knee, I think the knee was down, at least from that angle, that's what it looked like. And from my angle here in the back, looking into the backfield, same thing.
Big non-call and a big gain for Cerami. It's first down from the 14. Here's Cerami again. Another big gain. He's down to the 5.
Taggart and Rossi just blowing out the guys in front of them. Look at on the right-hand side, 64 Taggart, and a wide open hole. Rossi took the defensive end to the outside and left a big hole for Cerami to go through.
Well, they only get to the 7, so 2nd and 3.
That off-tackle power sweep.
Cerami looking for the hole. He's in. Touchdown for Joe Cerami from 7 yards out.
Good job of holding the ball for a guy who's got a broken thumb. He took a hit right on the ball with the helmet, and he lost it just a little bit. Watch as he goes through. They start like they're going wide. He makes the cut right over the left guard, and he just goes up. There's the hit on the ball. Almost comes out. He holds it and takes it in. Great job on the left side.
Steve Patton in for the extra point.
Aratunian with the block.
Kick is up, and it's good. 7-yard touchdown run puts the Falcons up now by 9, 16-7 here on the ECAC Game of the Week.
When you're making important decisions about your future, listen to what the experts have to say.
Coming from Bentley, you cannot be technology illiterate.
You're expected to use your computer for almost all of your classes.
They prepared me for the technical world.
Bentley College, Waltham, Massachusetts. Undergraduate, graduate, and continuing education programs. Call 1-800-5-BENT-LEY.
It's taken Cal Ripken Jr. 13 grueling years to break Lou Gehrig's record. Now we are honoring this historic baseball event with this officially endorsed Cal Ripken Jr. 23-karat gold stamp wallet. Beautifully detailed but limited to only 2,131 of 15 sets worldwide. Each set comes safely protected in this handsome special collector's presentation wallet. The Cal Ripken Jr. official postage stamp, issued by the islands of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, comes with its own numbered certificate of authenticity and is extremely limited, so act quickly. You get the Cal Ripken Jr. gold stamp, the display wallet, and this paper stamp set on a cachet card canceled by the government on the very day Cal broke the record. You get all this for only $39.95. Here's how you can order.
To order, have your credit card ready and call 1-800-213-9800. That's 1-800-213-9800, or send check or money order for $39.95 plus $3.95 shipping to SSCA, P.O. Box 1809, Department A, Hicksville, New York.
Falcons opening up the lead here in the fourth quarter. That was an impressive drive. Capped off by a Joe Cerami, 7-yard touchdown.
He really was the guy coming down in that series of downs. 3 big carries, broke that one on the outside. Bentley got the big break on the play where it appeared, at least to me, I may be the only person in this stadium that thinks that was the call. I didn't see anybody from Sacred Heart saying anything. Looked like it from here on that Rips's knee hit and should have nullified that run. As we mentioned a little bit earlier, that is the great strength of the Bentley offense, their versatility and their ability to spread the ball all over the field. There's a lot of guys can score.
Mike Vaughn kicking away. Flag on the play as the ball is run back by Warman up to the 30.
A lot of zeros in on that tackle. David Ford, number 40. Jamie McKenna, number 50. Usually a clip when it flies in from there. I think it's going to be a hold.
Legal block or a hold or something.
Something illegal. Yeah. Something you're not supposed to do. Usually when a flag flies from that area, it's something illegal.
Well, Sacred Heart now hurting themselves with some mental mistakes. Fumble hurt, although I guess you'd call that a physical mistake.
Yeah,
they fumbled the ball away, but this penalty here backs them up. They've got to go now quite a long way into a breeze, and they trail by 9.
They're moving the ball very well in the last possession. Had the advantage, 127 yards to 87 in yards gained, the third down in the third quarter. But those turnovers, they can kill you.
Gang tackle on Warman.
Let's go, Dino! Step it up, D!
Too many people to mention. It's almost like a thank you speech at the Emmys on that tackle. There's too many people.
Falcons have done that a lot tonight. They've mastered the art of pig piling for sure.
Coaches like that. Defenses like that. Running backs aren't too crazy about it, but.
So 2nd and 5 from the 20. Right up the gut, a quick handoff. Starting to ask myself, where is Brian Eilfeld? And there he was right there.
There's where Bentley stood at the outset of the year by Sports Illustrated, their Division II preseason poll. Quite an achievement for that 6th year. Don Cook mentioned earlier it takes a whole student generation, one generation of students, 4 years, 5 years, to really get things rolling. And in the 6th year, they're rated that highly. Of course, they did have a little bit of help. They started to develop their club program, and it had a great reputation and drew players to them for that as well.
Put a flag on the play, and that'll back the Pioneers up. They've got to be really disappointed here on the illegal motion call. They looked like they were in the driver's seat in their last series, and they really were. They trailed by 2. They were driving, looking like they were headed towards the score. Then they fumbled it away. Bentley comes back and scores, and all of a sudden they're down by 9.
Well, Washington State on the field.
Eilfeld up to the 29, back to a little bit past the original line of scrimmage.
Jake Oates, haven't called his name in a while, makes the tackle. Look at the surge. hole is open. Nice big hole. Iafeld gets into the secondary. Oates is there. Nice tackle, as it looked like he was going to pull away, but that play was made by that left side of the line as they took the defensive ends and linebackers to the outside, the sideline area, and pushed everybody on the guards and the centers, pushed everybody back inside.
2nd and 8. Here's Warman. Has speed around the corner. Up to the 45-yard line.
George O'Connor made a nice recovery. Forced Warman to cut inside as he goes to the, when he looked like he was going to just take it down the sideline. O'Connor showed some speed and recovery to get there to force a Warman back in on the spin.
10 minutes to go in this one. Sacred Heart's starting to move the ball again, but they're down by 2 scores.
Not a lot of fancy stuff in the part of the defense for Bentley. Pretty much stayed with what they had all throughout.
Warman couldn't find a hole that time. He's been doing that, running laterally, looking for the hole to shoot upfield, and that time there was just nothing there.
Again, speaks to the lateral quickness of the Bentley defensive line and the linebackers, but I started to say they pretty much stayed with that 4-3-4 alignment. Haven't seen any situation where they had 5, that I can recall, where they had 5 defensive backs in. The only change they've made is they've made the cornerbacks come up a little bit, and they've taken the linebackers sometimes and put them right on the line of scrimmage to make it look like a 6-man front, and then the corners are almost have that responsibility to turn the run inside.
Kelly runs the option, taken out of bounds on the Bentley side of the field. Picked up about 6 or 7.
So you've got that, when you have the kind of pass rush that the Falcons have, you've got that luxury to be able to bring your corners up and dare them to throw long if the corners, if you've got confidence in them, which they obviously do, because to be able to throw long, you've got to take the deep drop. That pattern takes a lot longer, and when you've got the good running backs, the good defensive line that can put the pass rush on, it's hard to get that pass off.
3rd down and 4 for the Pioneers. Quick handoff in the 1st down.
The 3rd time today have been faked out by the handoff. I thought Washington got it, was going to the outside. Take a look at the ball handling by Kelly. And he's got running backs. It's the quick handoff. You didn't really see it. And Washington took the fake and ran wide. And a lot of people concentrating on Washington. That is a testament to Iafeld's ability to get his acceleration to get to the line.
Warman trying to get outside again. Sealed off.
Not been an effective play today. They just haven't been able to get out there. Too much quickness.
Well, a couple of plays ago, he got one where he was able to turn it up the sideline because he eluded a tackle. That time, they stayed right with him and made the good tackle.
Well, it helps when you've got 3 or 4 guys out there, and that really has been the story. This is a very difficult team to run wide on, I think. Independent of the success they've had today, you can just see it with the quickness that they have.
2nd and 8. No way Washington was giving up the football that time.
Should have given it up there, not the other time. This from the defensive backfield. Once again, they fake it inside, and this time they give it to Washington. But look at all the guys in the blue shirts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'd like to thank too many guys to mention, but Dieterding was the guy who was there first, and it's nice to see him. He's been back in the game for a while, but he is getting the job done with that sore ankle.
Big play here. Mark Wicca in motion. Kelly looking to his side. Threw behind his man. Had a receiver open, but he threw behind O'Coin.
Marweka was open on that play that worked earlier in the game when he just went in motion, then came straight up along the hash mark into that little open area of the zone, little pocket. He was open. I don't know if Kelly, he was the secondary receiver. Kelly didn't see him, and he went to the outside.
4 down territory. Go for it here from the 38.
They should add a little in to that town. Seymour in Connecticut. No. Here goes the
O'Coin. Got to do it on his own. He won't. They came up and bumped him out of bounds short of the 1st down.
That was the play that we saw at the end of the 1st half when they throw it back. It's actually lateral. It gives them the option. But that time, I think they were just trying to create some room for him outside, let him do it with his space. And I love it when a guy makes a tackle and then limps off. That's football, I'll tell you right now.
Dieterding with the limp. He's been a warrior here in this 2nd half.
Look at that. Pass goes out to O'Coin. He's not even looking to throw the ball. He's just looking for room to get outside, and there is Dieterding.
Great hit by Dieterding.
Takes the worst of it, though. Comes up and comes out limping, but prevents the first down.
So the ball goes back to the Falcons, 1st and 10 from their 37. Sarami, he was big on the last drive. Around the corner. Big hit up near the 48. Boy, he paid the price.
I'll tell you what, though, he just jumped up. He was the first guy out of that pile. That's one of those things, you know, you're not going to, even if you're hurt, you're not going to show him. You got to get up and run back. But, again, this is evidence. I think the Bentley line is starting to win the battle of endurance. They seem to be wearing down Sacred Heart. They're a little bit tired because Sarami has running room. This is just speed as he outlegs everybody to the corner and then takes the big hit. Not sure who that was.
Lester Sutton.
Remind me not to run into Lester in the parking lot. That was a big hit.
That was a first down run for Sarami.
This is the time where they're going to need to stop pretty soon, though.
Mazzucchelli wasn't fooling anybody there on first down.
Really not throwing the ball all that effectively. Time's ticking away. A couple of drives they've had, they've run most effectively inside the guards and tackle. So if they're going to do that and continue to make yardage, or at least follow the pattern that's worked for them, they're going to take a lot of time off the clock on that drive. So they're going to need to stop pretty soon, I think.
Sarami's got 49 yards on 8 carries. Most of that in the second half. Here he is again. Got about 3.
Of course, he scored the big touchdown as well.
Eilfeld, by the way, has broken the 100-yard mark. 102 on 22 carries thus far. Warman, not too bad. He's got 60 yards on 12.
Yeah, I like it. Those guys are averaging 5 yards a carry, and their average is going to go down.
Yeah.
It's like when a guy in the beginning of a baseball season is hitting 400. He goes he's hitting over 400. He goes 2 for 5. Great day. Any other part of the year, he goes down.
It's back to Ferguson. He'll be short of the first down. Bumped out of bounds inside the 45, but he had to get down to about the 41.
So that's the first order of business. Good job by the Pioneer defense. They needed that stop. It means they're going to get the ball back with, though, about 5:45 remaining, providing they handle the punt. There's no fake here.
Mark Wickett calls for the fair catch, drops it, and looked like he was able to cover up inside the 10.
I'll tell you what, that was a late decision to go for the fair catch. If you and he kind of the last minute surveyed, saw the wave of blue coming down at him, went for the fair catch and took his eyes off it a little bit, but good job to stay with it and recover. This is right about the time Colby, when that game 2 weeks ago, we saw that big drive. Of course, they're going to have to come up with a touchdown and the 2-point conversion to get the tie out of this thing. I think it was exactly 5:32 when Colby took over and had that big drive to win the ball game.
Not to critique your math skills, but a touchdown and 2 doesn't do it, Dave. They're down by 9.
You're right.
So they've really, with 5.5 minutes to play, they've got to do something quick, because they've got to do something and get the ball back.
Go blue! Come on, dude!
Well, that changes it. They can you know, in this situation, if they get it down, they can elect to go for a field goal. If they can kick that, they're going to have to get 2 scores.
Ball is complete.
Issue is here. I think you're going to see those kind of passes. It's a nice job. It's a long pass from the sideline.
Vern Cox with the reception.
That is a long way on that pass. There's a nice pickup block, double team actually, while working in the backfield. But Cox holds on, and I think you're going to see that kind of a cushion. So you got to go for those 10, 15-yard passes max. Make it look like you're going deep, take advantage of the cushion, and just methodically move it down the field. Go away from where there's help. If they're probably more than likely they're going to be in a zone on the defense, and they're going to give you that big, as I said, the big cushion, and you're not going to have a lot of help to the outside. So if you turn up at 8, 9 yards, you more than likely are not going to have to throw over a linebacker, so you can get in there. Those are the passes that work, and don't try and get it all at one time, and force them to adjust their defense, and then maybe you can sneak one deep.
There you see the story. Really, the Pioneers have to keep this alive. If they don't make it on 3rd and 3 here, I mean, granted, they're very deep, but
They have
you
to.
almost hate that you can't punt it away.
Oh, they have to.
Yeah,
They need, well...
so what good does that do?
No. What I'm saying is they need to go for it.
Oh, yeah. That's so we're saying the same thing in different words.
We just don't know it. They've got to go for it because they need the 2 scores. Now they critique my math skills.
3rd and 3, that's not going to do it, I don't think.
Now, that's a pretty good play, though, on the part of Bentley. I would have expected maybe something with a little bit of a rollout that had some options to force Bentley to commit to something, but right there, they do the job. They go back to that play that really has been the most effective offensive play, I think, throughout the course of the ball game.
David Donnelly out of Suncook, New Hampshire, played high school ball at Bishop Brady. Boy, that's pretty close. That's unbelievable. He got it with the spot. That's didn't look like it from up here, but Heilfeld apparently spun up just enough to get the 3 yards. That was the toughest 3 yards you're ever going to see.
Notice I didn't call. I didn't want to wreck my perfect record. Too close to call.
There's a word for that.
It's also tougher from the. It's easier to see it on the monitor than it is where we're sitting.
Well, the 1st down keeps it alive, but the clock continues to tick with 4:16. Almost intercepted. Tom Fleming got his hands on it. I think the Tom Fleming fan club is right in front of us.
Once again, they went to that play right along. Watch it out of the right-hand side, top part of your screen. I mean, going straight up the hash mark, and it's a timing play, but this time it is behind Marwicka. It's gotten them 2 first downs so far in the ball game, but Bentley did a little actually, I think the pass was a little bit earlier and didn't allow Marwicka to clear into that area, and then it went behind him.
Kelly on 2nd down, looking longer, into coverage, intercepted. He threw it into the wind and it hung up. Ball is picked off and run back to the 22-yard line. George O'Connor.
Second of the season for George.
Yeah, that one was gift wrapped. Not to take anything away from George, but that ball just sat up there.
Yeah, it was also a product of he knew where the ball was. Rather than waiting for the receiver to come to him, he's playing the ball the whole way. It hangs up, and he just comes up and way short, playing almost a free safety slot, or at least a guy who's got responsibility to go to the ball, and shows that he knows what to do with the ball. I thought he was going to get really nailed from behind. He made that last little cut.
For O'Connor, the senior out of Hamden, Maine, that's his 13th career interception, which ties the record here at Bentley. That's
no longer the how many he had coming into the ball game.
Got 3 now on the season, 13 on the career, and still lots of time left in this season to set the record.
Moved it back on a penalty.
Well, 3:57 here, and all Bentley's got to do is take care of the football.
Interesting to see who's in the backfield.
Looks like Sarami. Nope.
Big guy.
Tucker.
Big guy, Tucker.
We hadn't seen Tucker in a while, but he was effective earlier when he ran the ball.
You know, it's I mean, obviously Sarami did a good job of holding on to the football with the sore thumb, and I wonder if they're going to see him here at a situation where really what they need to do is run out the clock, and they don't need his ability to get outside quite as much as they need somebody guaranteed to hold on to the football. So maybe you'll see the big guy pounding away.
We mentioned the 25-game consecutive victories for Bentley. Should they hold on here, of course, make it 26, and that would be the longest regular season winning streak in New England this century, which is quite a feat.
So if they keep winning, I don't know, so it's, well, maybe it is possible to surpass this at some point in this century, but pretty much like playing golf, you know, you're playing a match, you got a 3-hole lead, you get to the 17th hole, you're 3-2 and you're out. If they have one more year, they pick up 35, it'll be impossible to beat this streak in this century. Correct?
Well put. Not going to test your math skills on that one. You've got that one figured out.
That's right. I'm 2 for 3 on math today.
And if they keep winning into the year 2000, they could have the longest streak of that century as well.
That's true. That's true. Of course, the only thing on these math, I've got 2 that really don't matter as they relate to the game. The only one I got wrong was the counting the points on the scoreboard, which has direct impact on what happens in terms of strategy in the ball game.
2nd and 8. Mazzucchelli. A little stutter step there. Well, he kind of it looked like a little bunny hop.
It was almost like one of those hesitations in basketball. Just stop there, wait for everybody to move ahead, and okay, there's the hole. I'm going back.
Well, here's the longest current winning streaks in NCAA college football. Bentley in the regular season, we told you, had 32. Nebraska with 30 in the regular season. Pennsylvania had 24, and Central Iowa had 20. Overall, including postseason, Bentley has 25, should be 26 if they hold on here. Pennsylvania with 24, Nebraska with 18 overall.
Rivaling with this kind of success, and they've had it over a 17-year period. Another team with great consistent success here at Bentley is the women's basketball program, which has made numerous trips to the NCAAs and a few into the Final Fours.
Flags on the field before the snap.
Also up in our basketball history today. Of course, the big thing here is the clock stops. Bentley just wants it to keep ticking away.
Mike Rimsha not happy with the delay of game call. Thought he had time. The 25-second clock, they're disputing whether it was functioning properly. I believe that's what the dispute is all about. In any event, penalty stands. It'll be 3rd and 12, 2:50 to play in this one, and the Falcons with the 9-point lead. If they do get a first down here, it's Katie bar the door for the Pioneers.
Oh, this represents progress for Sacred Heart. They 30-0 loss, 32-6 loss, and this game was and has been a very hard-fought contest.
Grimshaw looking for Boozer long. There was some contact there, but the pass was not really catchable, so no flag.
Tell you what, that was great defense going down the corner by Lester Sutton. He just pinned. No way the ball could have gotten in there as he was pinned on the sideline. And that is textbook defensive cornerback play.
Kirk McGregor to punt. Sacred Heart's got to be going after the kick here. You block a punt, you run it back, and you're in the ball game.
Good job by the line to keep those people out. That's exactly what they were trying to do.
Pretty good kick into the end zone. Sacred Heart will start 1st and 10 from their 20. 2:34 to play. Not out of the realm of possibility. If they can march it down, recover an onside kick, you know, still within the realm of possibility here.
We are in the realm, but the passing game has not been as sharp as it's been for a good portion of the season for the Pioneers, and that is really the weapon they're going to have to use to take it down the field.
Coming into the game, Kelly's longest pass completion was 59 yards. O'Coin in motion. Kelly looking to the other side of the field, now scrambling out of the pocket. Throws it upfield before he's sacked. And we've got flags.
All over the place.
They did a pretty... they're going to wave it off.
I thought it was...
I thought he did a pretty good job avoiding the intentional grounding. He got it fairly close to a receiver.
Yeah, he's at least throwing in their area. At least trying to throw in that direction. And that was the story coming into the ball game. As I mentioned a couple of times, they just put a lot of pressure on you and don't let you throw deep simply because they're in the backfield before your receiver's out there into the area that you need to throw the deep pass.
2nd and 10 from the 20. O'Coin in motion. Szynski wide to the bottom of your screen. Across the middle, that was a dangerous play.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blue shirts in that area.
Pass was intended for Ryan De Silva. It was overthrown, and we get another flag on the field. Here's Dieterding, who's played very courageously since banging up either his ankle again or his knee. I think he probably did re-sprain the ankle a little bit.
I mean, just guessing from up here, but generally what happens is with that sprained ankle, as I mentioned, it kills you laterally when you've got to plant and go, especially if it's pretty fresh. And that is what happened that play. He planted, forced Kelly inside, and then tried to come back to the outside part of that ankle and to his right, and that's where he went down.
Offensive holding makes things even more difficult for the Pioneers. It'll make it 2nd and 20. Put them back at their 10. On the ground for Sacred Heart.
Trying to sneak one. I'll tell you, I'm kind of surprised at the Bentley defense. They're really not giving on the corners much of a cushion at all. You know, which I think teams exaggerate that too much and allow offenses to move the ball down the field too quickly because of that cushion. They're only given about 7 yards on either side to the wideouts, and right now they're almost jamming them at the line of scrimmage, at least on the inside of that slot.
3rd and 12. Sacred Heart again on the ground, well short of the first down.
I'm not sure about that call. I mean, you got to do something now. It might be one time you might catch him napping, but second time I'd be surprised, especially when you can't afford the clock to keep rolling, because there goes another 20 seconds.
I can't believe that Sacred Heart would be punting away here with 1:25 to go. Kip is on the field.
I don't think a fake is going to catch him napping either.
Not when you've got Szynski split out wide and a receiver in the slot as well. Can Kip throw the ball? Will he even touch the ball in this
I don't
snap?
know if he can reach the line of scrimmage. He's so far deep.
Gets the snap, and he's kicking away. Curious call. Ball down at the 44-yard line with 54 seconds to play. Apparently, Sacred Heart was throwing in the towel.
I guess so. Not sure what the difference is if you lose 23-7 or if you lose 7. You know, last open net goal doesn't mean that, I mean, they played a very good game, I thought, against best team in New England, maybe the best team in the country. And they should be very proud of themselves. I think, you know, one big mistake turned the game, put them at a big disadvantage. As they were driving down, you know, they might have been able to, at minimum, come away with a field goal, picked up 10 points, and Bentley on the defensive. But that's what happened, as I mentioned, when it occurred. Great teams have big playmakers. They make the plays, and then the offense just drove it down the field. And, you know, that's they capitalized on the mistake, and that's one of the main reasons this team is going to be 26-0 come about 50 seconds from now.
Now, why would they call the timeout here if they weren't going to go for it on 4th down and try and drive alive? Why postpone the inevitable now?
Might have been one of the kids called it. Captain's on the field.
Here's the story. Bentley.
Why do people call timeouts when in basketball when they're down by 30 and they're down by 15 and there's 2 seconds left in the game?
We should mention, Dave, that unless Bentley scores late here, this will be the first time since 1992 they haven't scored 20 points in a game. Credit Sacred Heart for shutting down a pretty high-powered offense. Matter of fact, the last time they didn't score 20 was back in '92, which was when they last lost.
As I say, Sacred Heart, I'm very impressed by the way they played. A couple of mistakes hurt them, and otherwise this could be a different story.
Yeah, clearly that fumble on the drive when they were only down by 2 points and they were driving and they were moving the ball and it looked like they were going to come away with some type of score. They had that very key fumble.
And the other Bentley score came on an interception and a run back of an interception for a touchdown. So
yeah, the first touchdown, yeah.
So, you know, 2 key mistakes took at least a chance for 3 points, maybe a touchdown away, and also gave Bentley the first 7 points of the ball game. So you take those 2 offensive miscues away, and I think you're looking at a totally different game.
And Sacred Heart looked very good on that drive that they did score. It ended up with a 22-yard run by Eilfeld for the touchdown, but they moved the ball all the way down the field.
And they ran very well in the 3rd period as well. You know, 50-yard, they controlled the ball, and then a 50-yard advantage in total offense in the third period. So very impressive job by the Pioneers, even though they have come out of here with a loss.
Well, for the Bentley Falcons, same old story. Another win, 26 straight now, and that's best in New England.
Can I tell you something? That's one of the few routines in life that doesn't get boring, continuing to win game after game.
Final score here from Waltham, 16-7 Falcons. They'll be back to wrap it up after this.
Fun, easy, inexpensive, and ingenious.
That's what coaches and experts say about Solo Tennis. Improves all tennis skills. Form, timing, speed, confidence, strength, and endurance.
How does it work?
Just hit the ball and Solo Tennis will return it to you every time.
Who can play?
Anyone of any age. Simple enough for a novice, yet challenging enough for an expert.
Where can you play?
Anywhere. No backboard or tennis court is needed. Solo Tennis is a fun, exciting game you can play anytime. Tennis USTA magazine says,
take full natural strokes and the ball comes back to you every time.
Inside Tennis magazine calls it
simple yet innovative.
Solo Tennis, called the best invention in 20 years by World Tennis magazine, is now available for only $19.95 plus shipping and handling. For fast delivery, just call the toll-free number on your screen. Solo Tennis comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Order yours today.
When you're making important decisions about your future, listen to what the experts have to say.
The reputation of Bentley in the business world was what sold me on Bentley.
The alumni from Bentley are very active in the business field. If you've gone to Bentley, you've got the background that they want.
Bentley College, Waltham, Massachusetts. Undergraduate, graduate, and continuing education programs. Call 1-800-5-BENTLEY.
So a 9-point victory for the Falcons here in Waltham, Massachusetts, and they continue their winning streak to 26 straight games with the 16-7 win over the Pioneers from Sacred Heart. Great ball game. We'll turn now to our Chevy drive of the game, and it was an impressive drive. It started late in the third quarter, finished early in the fourth quarter. 10 plays, 75 yards, capped off by a Joe Cerami 7-yard touchdown run for the Falcons. And with that touchdown and the extra point, here's Cerami. Straight up the gut, hit once, switches hands. Keep in mind that he's playing with a sore thumb, and he punches it in. Gutsy run, and that sealed the victory for Bentley. There's Joe Adamathuan. Nice effort and a very impressive drive for our Chevy drive of the game. Again, 10 plays, 75 yards. We started the scoring with a Jake Oates 33-yard interception return, made it 6-0 in the first quarter. Brian Eilfeld came back with 54 seconds left in the first quarter with a 22-yard touchdown run, and the extra point put Sacred Heart on top by a point, 7-6. A 29-yard field goal for Bentley put them up 9-7. That's the score that we took to the half, and then that one touchdown by Joe Cerami in the second half, and Bentley holds on for the 9-point win. We'll take a break here on the ECAC Game of the Week. When we come back, Dave Long is down on the field with some of the Falcons who were key to this game.
What happens when you mix NFL football
Hit!
with Nashville country music? You get NFL Outlaw Country. Football like you've never heard before. Join Travis Tritt for one partying home video featuring the biggest stars of the NFL doing their thing to the hottest sounds in country.
What goes up must come down. Make some sounds and come back around.
Don't miss this special TV offer. There are absolutely no magazines to buy and no clubs to join. Call and order Outlaw Country, where the NFL meets Nashville in one unforgettable home video. Only $19.95.
Use your credit card and call 1-800-468-3100 to order your NFL Outlaw Country video, where the NFL meets Nashville. Only $19.95 plus shipping. This is a special TV offer. Call now, 1-800-468-3100.
It's taken Cal Ripken Jr. 13 grueling years to break Lou Gehrig's record. Now we are honoring this historic baseball event with this officially endorsed Cal Ripken Jr. 23-karat gold stamp wallet. Beautifully detailed but limited to only 2,131 of 15 sets worldwide. Each set comes safely protected in this handsome special collector's presentation wallet. The Cal Ripken Jr. official postage stamp, issued by the islands of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, comes with its own numbered certificate of authenticity and is extremely limited, so act quickly. You get the Cal Ripken Jr. gold stamp, the display wallet, and this paper stamp set on a cachet card canceled by the government on the very day Cal broke the record. You get all this for only $39.95. Here's how you can order.
To order, have your credit card ready and call 1-800-213-9800. That's 1-800-213-9800, or send check or money order for $39.95 plus $3.95 shipping to SSCA, P.O. Box 1809, Department A, Hicksville, New York.
Once again, the final score here from Bentley, the Falcons 16 and the Sacred Heart Pioneers 7. Pioneers played their hearts out. They kept this Bentley team under 20 points, which hasn't been done since 1992, but the Falcons prevailed nonetheless with some gutsy defense down the end and some opportunistic offense on that touchdown run by Joe Cerami. Dave Long is down on the field.
All right, thanks, Scott. We're down here with some of the folks who played big roles in the win today. First up is Coach Peter Yetton, and Coach, 26 in a row, and that's a great accomplishment. Longest winning streak in this century in the win.
It's pretty unbelievable when you think about it. You know, we really haven't focused too much on the winning streak, but you know, our motto's been to take every game one at a time and, you know, let the chips fall where they may. But these kids have done a great job for us, you know, over the past couple of years, and this year they're hanging in there. We're young, we're rebuilding, but they keep on rolling, you know, and they play hard.
You know, I said at the beginning of the game, I think when there's a game with a winning streak like this coming in, I think it preys more in the mind of the opponent who want to either knock you off, number one, or when you get in a big situation, like at the end of the game, the drive, the Washington fumble, you guys came back and scored, if they wonder in the back of their mind if they can get it done against someone who's done it time and time again.
Yeah, I think the last couple of weeks, you know, we faced two good teams. Salve, we came back on Salve to score two in the last quarter. And even tonight, you know, we made the most out of that turnover. That was a big play, and you know, our kids, as long as we keep away from the penalties and so forth, I was happy that we made a couple of adjustments in our blocking scheme, and they were able to score that touchdown. They did a great job.
You know, their history is playing, coming out in the first period and the third period. They've got a big advantage in scoring on teams, which generally means very well prepared with the, you know, coming into the game. They make good adjustments. They ran the ball real effectively in the third period. You do anything in the fourth period to shut things down?
Yeah, I think Coach Harrington made a couple adjustments over there on defense. You know, they really kind of beating us up pretty good in the middle, you know, and they had some big kids, you know, and we give away a lot of size almost every week we play. Seems the team's a lot bigger than we are, so we have to move our linebackers around a little bit, and we kind of slanted a little bit to one of their offensive linemen. We thought they were running behind number 34, so we kind of slanted that way a little bit and kind of stacked our linebackers. And hopefully it kind of, you know, stopped the flow. But they're a good team. They come off the ball very well, and we were happy to hold on, really.
You know, the sign of a good team is, number one, to come up with the big play. You did it defensively with the fumble after they drove down the field. And then offensively, you guys came back and took it back down the field. It seemed in the second half you ran a lot more running backs in with Tucker and Joe Cerami. He came in, made the big plays in that particular drive. Was that to keep guys fresh or just to move people in?
Well, John Ferguson had a little bit of a knee injury last week, you know, and he had a couple of real good runs in there. Joe Cerami's come off the bench for us the last 2 weeks and has gone and given us a little bit of lift. He's got great speed. And Tucker's a big kid that we want to pound away a little bit and get him going. Tonight's the first time he's played in about 4 or 5 weeks. He's been injured too, so it helps to keep the backs fresh. It really does, you know.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Congratulations.
Hey, thank you very much.
Let's talk to some of the guys who made the big play. We've got Jake Oates here. Jake, you guys come down, start the game. You get the big run back. Looks like you're going to score. Then they fumble right away. Were guys down when you came back out, or just had a job?
Not really. We knew what we had to do, so we went out and played defense.
Okay, they came up with the pass that was short. What kind of defense were you in, and what were you thinking? What were your responsibilities in that play?
Well, I had the flat, and I saw the guy running behind me, so I just curled up and threw the ball right to him.
And as a defensive back, you see that ball coming in. What are your first thoughts? You kind of
don't drop the ball. That's it. Just look it in and make sure you make the catch.
Were you surprised at their ability to run the ball in the second half? They ran it inside guards and tackles, did a pretty good job, and gave you a much tougher game this year than last year.
I wasn't surprised because they have a big offensive line, and their backs are real good, and they've had a successful season so far. They're a tough team.
Yeah, I thought it was a good game. All right, nice game, Jake. Let's go over to Joe. Joe, you've got sat out a lot in the first half. You got the thumb. How was the thumb?
It's killing me right now. But, you know, I knew coming into the game I was going to have to step aside from the wide receiver spot. That's what I play. And, you know, come in if they really needed me, like on the kickoff team, and you know, do whatever I could to help.
Part of the reason for not playing, though, is because you have a tough time catching the ball at the wide receiver slot, the Z-back slot. How does that hamper you on the kickoff?
Actually, all week we practiced, and I was trying my best just to kind of catch it with one hand. That's what happened right there. Kind of glad it went up high, so made it easier.
How about that big drive? You got the score, but you also had several big runs, a lot of room to the outside. Tell us about that.
Well, right off the bat, I mean, the offensive line, they played unbelievable in the second half. You know, they really came out and started sticking Sacred Heart. And Ed Mazzucchelli, the fullback, I was just following him. You know, I mean, he'd cut right up to the hole, and I'd say, I'm following you, and we get some positive yardage.
How about the touchdown run inside? A lot of tough yards there, and you got tackled. Somebody hit you right in the ball at the helmet. How'd you hold on?
Held on for dear life, dear life.
Okay, now you guys, 26 wins. What does that mean to you guys?
Well, we got the big one coming up against CW Post. We've been eyeing that all year. We know it's a big game, and we're just going to have a high week of practice.
Okay, Joe, congratulations. Great game.
Thank you very much.
All right, that's the story down here in the field. Let's go back up to you, Scott.
Thank you very much, Dave, and tip of the cap to Joe Cerami and Jake Oates. Joe, by the way, was Offensive Player of the Week last week for the Eastern Collegiate Football Conference with his 91 yards and 2 touchdowns against Salve Regina. Comes back with another big effort this week against Sacred Heart. Wasn't the game-winning touchdown, but it was the touchdown that really put things over the edge. When you get down to it, the game-winning score was the 29-yard field goal in the second quarter. So once again, the final score here, Bentley Falcons 16 and the Sacred Heart Pioneers 7. Our next ECAC game of the week, Dartmouth at Yale. Hope you'll be with us then. For Dave Long, I'm Scott Trench-Fontaine. We'll see you next time on the ECAC Game of the Week.